there, Ginger Roses! Welcome to the YouTube! Hope you guys are good. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the world's weirdest habits from normal to odd to very weird to Henry all the way up to psychopathic. Now, some of these habits are absolutely insane, and then others are actually a little bit more normal, and maybe I'm just a lot weirder than I originally thought. So make sure you stick around to the end, guys, to find out if you are as weird as me. Good luck. Okay, starting with talking to inanimate objects. Now, I think this is actually pretty normal. 1 in 2.6 people do this, so I think it's pretty normal. We're going to get to the end of the video. I'm going to put everything in the normal column, and you're just going to realize how weird I am. No, but I think that one definitely belongs in normal. We all swear at whatever we stubbed our toe on. That is very true. Okay, next one. Collecting hair. Apparently, this is actually a habit that some people have. That is very weird. Almost Henry level weird, but I don't know. No, it's going in very weird. I don't think it's quite there with the Henry. Apparently, 1 in 100,000 people do this. Keeping a single strand of hair is creepy, but making an entire collection, that is a different level. Okay, fantasizing about strangers. This is an interesting one. Basically, everyone does this, is what it's saying. 1 in 1.1 people do this. None of us want to admit it, but we all do it. We fantasize about strangers, so it's going in normal. Okay, this next one's interesting. Staying silent in a group. This is almost always a result of fearing how others might judge you. It's pretty deep, actually. I'd say it's a bit odd. Would you say that's odd, or is it normal? You know what? It's not even odd. I think it would be weird to always be talking in a group. I think sometimes you do have to be the listener. Okay, avoiding eye contact. If you're struggling to hold eye contact, try looking at their forehead between their eyes. I just think it's a bit weird to constantly be looking at someone's eyes all the time. I think none of it is weird. Like, if you're never making eye contact, that's weird. But if you just do it all the time, then that's also weird. It's going in odd. I'm just going to put it in odd. Okay, muttering to yourself. 1 in 3 people do this. It might make you look crazy, but talking to yourself is actually very normal. There you go. They've said it there. Normal. 1 in 5 people do this. Smiling at inappropriate times. It says if you find yourself smiling at a funeral, it could just be the nerves. I mean, I've never smiled at a funeral, unless it was someone I didn't like. I'm going to put that, I mean, yeah, smiling at inappropriate times is a bit odd, isn't it? It's a bit odd. Make sure you stick around, guys, because as we get to the end, these things get more and more crazy. 1 in 6 people do this. Fantasize about hurting others. 1 in 6. Really? I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I've not thought about stabbing someone, although I'm thinking about it right now. When you have a conversation with someone, have you ever just thought, what would happen if I just punched you in the face right now while you're talking to me? Right, okay, I'm going to put it in. It is a bit odd. Apparently, a lot of people do it, but I wouldn't say it's normal. So it's going in odd. Pacing back and forth. 1 in 8 people do this. Pacing around can have positive mental health benefits. I think that's pretty normal. 1 in 9 people do this. Rehearsing conversations. I get that. Rehearsing a conversation. If you got an interview or you got something you're really worried about doing, you might rehearse it. Maybe. It's going to go in normal. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. Okay, 1 in 10 people do this. Eavesdropping. It's basically when you're listening into people's conversations. I think that is odd. I'm just going to say it's odd. Shouldn't do it. But sometimes you can't help it if the people are talking really loud. 1 in 12 people stare at people. Just stare. Just like a child. Just... yeah, okay. I'm going to say it's very weird, actually. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but people just staring at you. A lot of you guys do it, if you recognize me. I'll just be out and about, and there'll just be a kid just staring at me, and I don't know what to say. I'm not going to go up and talk to a kid. It just looks weird on my part. Picking and peeling your skin. It says 1 in 18 people do it, but I think a lot more people do it than that. I'm not saying it's normal, but I'm just saying a lot more people do it than 1 in 18. I reckon. So it's going in odd. 1 in 19 people talk to their pets. I am definitely a victim of this. I do this. Again, I'm not saying it's normal. I'm not saying it's very weird either. But I just feel like sometimes they can understand. They definitely can't. My cat has no idea what I'm talking about. 1 in 21 people chew their hair. I mean, my hair is not long enough to do that. I think if you're cutting your hair off to chew it, that would be very weird. But if it's just long enough that you can chew it, it's odd. 1 in 24 people have imaginary friends. These are getting weirder and weirder. I wonder how many are going to be in the psycho column by the end. Yeah, I'm going to say very weird. To be honest, I can't believe that 1 in 24 people have imaginary friends, but I don't know. It's going in very weird. Right, okay. 1 in 30 people swallow your bitten nails. Now, I'm going to admit to this. I don't do this anymore, but I definitely used to do it at school. It's not normal. It's not odd. It's probably one below Henry. It's very weird. It's very weird. It's almost psychopathic, but no, I don't know. That is it's just a bad habit that I used to have. I'm admitting to it. All right. Apparently, 1 in 32 people drink their own blood. I mean, when you cut your lip, downing a pint of your own blood can cause anemia. There's a difference between having a cut on your hand and doing this to, like, I don't know, slitting your wrists and pouring a pint. It's going in psycho. Make sure you carry on watching to the end, guys, because the last few are just absolutely insane. You are not going to believe it. Okay, next one. Blinking constantly. Try spending some time away from your phone. Eye strain can cause excessive blinking. Okay, that's going to go in... it's a bit odd. It's not that bad. Collecting personal information. 1 in 40 people do this. How would you feel if someone made little notes of everything they learnt about you? I wouldn't feel very safe. I wouldn't feel safe at night. So that is going to go in very weird. Nothing's made it to the Henry column yet. We've just skipped one. We've gone straight into the psycho. 1 in 70. Watching NSFL videos. Seeking out and enjoying extremely violent content is not a sign of mental health. That is just very weird. It's going to go in very weird. I don't know why you'd want to watch those kind of videos, but there's some fricked up things online. Okay, 1 in 71 people do this. Constant dark jokes. We all have that friend that makes constant dark jokes. Dark jokes are great. Maybe not on all the time. So I'm going to say odd. I don't think it's that bad though. Okay, we're going to do a bit more of a juicy one this time. Apparently, 1 in 370 million people do this. Creating shrines. Collecting photos and items of someone without their knowledge. Creepy. Just think of someone right now, anyone. Just imagine setting up a shrine of them. All the photos you have of them. You've got candles up and just weird symbolic signs. Oh, God. Oh, is it Henry? Or is it psychopathic? Oh, God. It's going to be psycho, I think. I mean, it's just really weird. I do also kind of think it's something Henry would do. I mean, if it's something Henry would do, it's got to go in Henry. I think anything that Henry wouldn't do, it's got to go in psycho. Okay, apparently 1 in 80 people sleepwalk. Okay, it's a bit odd. You just might not be able to help it. It's not their fault. It's going to go in odd. 1 in 87 people mimic other people. 1 in 87 people mimic other people. Oh, God, I'm just actually annoying myself. Right, let's go. That's going to go in. It is weird. It's going in very weird. This might be a sign of a sociopath with no real personality of their own. I always remember there was a kid in school that would do that and you just wanted to punch them in the face. I used to fantasize about hurting that person. Eating random objects. It's basically a toddler, isn't it? 1 in 100 people do this. Eating random objects. I mean, that's definitely Henry, isn't it? It's definitely Henry. Fingers! 1 in 122 people are obsessed with a celebrity. Following them on Instagram is fine, but sending them love letters is a little weirder. Why have you guys not sent me any love letters? Come on. Maybe I'm just not a celebrity. That's going to go in sending a celebrity love letters. That is very weird, isn't it? That is. I would put it in Henry, but I don't think Henry can write. 1 in 130 people do this. Isolating yourself for weeks. Frequent social interaction is vital for good mental health. Yeah, that is, again, that is very weird. I don't know why you would isolate yourself for weeks. It's going to go in Henry. It's definitely something Henry would do. 1 in 240 people do this, secretly filming people. This is just creepy. It could also be illegal. That is very weird. Straight up going in very weird. I don't know why you would want to do that. 1 in 300 people yell all the time. Being so angry all the time is definitely a creepy trait. I think we've all met some people that are just angry all the time. My old maths teacher, for one. Okay, yeah, that's going to go in very weird. I don't understand why you'd be angry all the time. They're getting more juicy now. 1 in 1,000 people stalk people. That's actually quite a scary statistic. 1 in 1,000 people. Around 45% of people have been stalked by an ex-partner at one point. 45% of people. What? That's kind of worrying. Okay, that is very weird. That's like psycho, isn't it? Stalking people. Why would you stalk someone? That's going in psycho. 1 in 1,300 people do this. Constantly licking your lips. That would just be, I mean, how to get That's how to dry your lips out. Well, I suppose if you're constantly licking them, then they're never going to be dry, are they? That's going to go in Henry. It's going straight in Henry. It's going straight in the Henry pile. Showering once every month. Once a month. I can't even imagine that. You would just stink and you'd feel really itchy. Apparently 1 in 3,000 people do that. That's so bad. Most people shower for an average of about 9.6 minutes. It's very specific. It's going to go in Henry. It's beyond very weird. That is just Henry. 1 in 6,000 people collect their teeth. One study showed that the tooth fairy gives about $3.80 per tooth on average. Collecting your teeth. When you say collecting your teeth, do you mean like a tooth falls out so you keep it so that you give it to the tooth fairy? Or does it mean you actually collect all your teeth you've ever got in a little tub? Oh god, that's very weird. 1 in 8,000 people give too many gifts. This indicates that they might be expecting something in return. Why can't I be friends with people like that? People that give me gifts all the time. That'd be brilliant. Giving too many gifts. It's like, oh, you didn't have to buy me this car. You really should not have bought me this house. That's going to go in odd. 1 in 10,000 people eat their own earwax. Put their finger in their ear and eat it. That is going straight in Henry without hesitation. I don't need to think about that. Earwax! 1 in 19,000 people never blink. Oh, God. I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't last like even 4 seconds then. I've never seen anyone not blink before. I mean, you see some people online, they're just like, it looks like they don't blink and they're just constantly, all the time. To be honest, I think it's just only psychos never blink. 1 in 30,000 people create a hit list. It's fine to not like people, but writing their names down and planning to hurt them is not. I agree. That's going on Psycho. 1 in 45,000 people talk like a baby. It could be a sign that they're regressing mentally. Yeah, that's just very weird, isn't it? And a bit cringy, to be honest. 1 in 230,000 people read other people's diaries. 3 in 10 people keep a diary, and 30% write in it daily. Wow. 1 in 230,000 people read other people's diaries. I actually think it's more than that. I remember reading my sister's diary when I was younger, but that was because I was 10 and she was 7. It was just what you do to your siblings. So it's going to go in very weird. If you're doing it as an adult, I think that's slightly different. 1 in 700,000 people have weird collections. One collector has acquired 5,000 fossilized pieces of poop. You know what? Whatever you're into, if you want to collect poop, you can do that. I'm going to say it's a little bit odd. Only ever whispering. 1 in 2 million people do this. Wow, this is like ASMR. More than 13 million videos of ASMR on YouTube, mostly involving whispering. I don't like it. Only ever whispering. Yeah, I have met some people that just are so quiet and you have to keep going, what? Sorry? Pardon? What? Yeah, it's just very weird, isn't it? 1 in 18 million people watch adult videos in public. Watching adult videos in public? I mean, what are you doing with your life at that point? Would Henry do that? It's not something he's done. I've seen him do in any of my videos. But I wouldn't put it past him. 1 in 35 million people send death threats. That is psychopathic. It's straight up psychopathic. There's no other room for that. Imitating other people's voices. 1 in 50 million people do that. Imagine getting a phone call from someone you think is your mum. And it turns out it's just some creepy guy called Peter who lives up the other end of the country. And he's just trying to talk to you. That would be so weird. That is going to go in Psycho. Okay, stealing people's DNA. We're getting to the weird ones now. 1 in 71 million people steal people's DNA. And that means collecting people's hair, nails, and saliva. Why are some people so weird? Psycho. It's going in Psycho. 1 in 80 million people reuse gum. Leaving used gum out can cause it to collect huge amounts of bacteria. Oh, God, that would just be horrible. One word, Henry. 1 in 110 million people do this. Following strangers. 4 in 5 stalking victims are women. Most stalkers are men. Yeah, I mean, I would have guessed that, to be honest. But, Psycho. Again, Psycho. A lot of these things Henry wouldn't do, and they are just the next level up. There's just so many weird... What is wrong with people? Just what do you think? It couldn't get any worse. Photographing dead animals. There's no other place for it than normal. I do that. There's no other place for it than psycho. Like, what is wrong with it? Do you really want a bunch of roadkill on your camera roll? No! No, I don't, phone! Oh, God. 1 in 171 million people hurt animals. That's so fucked up. What is wrong with people? This is a strong indicator that they will move on to hurting humans too. Psycho alert! These are the weirdest habits. Making dolls of people. 1 in 210 million people do that. Voodoo is a real religion with absolutely nothing to do with voodoo dolls. Well, I didn't know that. There's no other room for it than psycho. Oh, God. Sticking your bogies to the wall. 1 in 250 million do this. I think more than that. I'm pretty sure I've done that when I was in school, and I'm pretty sure I've seen other people do that. It's going to go in very weird. I don't even think that's Henry level weird. Leaving cryptic messages. Trying to creep out strangers for no reason is, well, creepy. Imagine getting a random text from an unknown number and it just says, I am in the house with you. That would just be so weird. Oh, God. Okay, that's going to go... Oh. It's a tricky one because you might just be playing a prank on someone and it might just be a funny thing to do. So I'm going to put it in very weird. Digging holes in your yard. Definitely one of the most bizarre and creepy hobbies someone can have. 1 in 300 million people do it. How big are these holes? Are they human-sized holes? Are they mouse-sized holes? I think the size of the hole depends. It really has a big impact on this one, so I'm going to put it in Henry. This next one, sniffing chairs. Getting caught doing this will almost certainly get you beaten up. Oh, God. That would be so funny catching someone doing that. Oh, how you doing, James? Oh, hey, Jake. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Oh, good. I don't really know what I just did there. But that goes straight in Henry. Cheers! Collecting used tissues. Used tissues. Why would you collect them? You gotta be a psycho. Why else would you collect a used tissue? Oh, God. 1 in 480 million people do this, setting up hidden cameras. If you're caught, this will almost certainly get you sent to prison. Psycho. 1 in 511 million people do this, watching people sleep. Some live streamers made thousands of dollars just by sleeping on stream. It can't be 1 in 511 million then, can it? Yeah, I have seen those, like, scrolling through TikTok, and you just see people sleeping. It's like, how is this entertaining in any way? Watching people sleep, yeah, again, psycho. 1 in 1.2 million people steal other people's clothes. There was always a kid in school that would steal your clothes. We had it in my school. Maybe I just went to a rough school. Like, when you had PE and you left your clothes in the changing rooms, you'd come back and something would be missing. And there would be a kid that would steal your clothes. Is it Henry? It's not psycho. It's going to go in very weird. Yeah, those people are weird. Oh, okay. Making sacrifices to Satan. Okay, that's gonna go straight into normal. I think that's normal. It's just gonna go straight into psycho. How do you get into doing that? Only ever pooping outdoors. 1 in 630 million people do this. When pooping outdoors, you need to be at least 200 meters away from fresh water. That is weird. I mean, it's not psycho. To be fair, it's something Henry would do because he lives in the woods. He only outdoors. Digging up graves. Oh, good. The first recorded instance of body snatching, didn't know that was a thing, was in 1319. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Like, straight in psycho. Okay, guys, stealing blood and drinking it. It's like, how do you steal blood? For a start, are you a vampire? 1 blood donation can save up to 3 lives, so please don't drink it. Okay. Thanks for that useless information. It's just going there. It's going in straight in psycho. Okay, we have made it to the last one, and it's actually quite funny. Attending random funerals for fun. 1 in 900 million people do this. Oh, God. That would be so funny, just rocking up to some random person's funeral. Everyone there's crying, and somebody comes up to you and goes, How did you know Mary? And you just go, oh, she was a friend of a friend of a friend of my electrician. Oh, God. That's so funny. I don't even think it's psychopathic. I just think it's funny, to be honest. I kind of want to do it. Henry. Let's going in Henry. Oh my God, I feel like a psychopath after making this video, to be honest. I can't actually believe that we ended up putting the same amount of habits in psycho as we did in very weird. The smallest one was normal. Like, we just had a few in normal. Imagine meeting someone with all of these psychopathic traits, right? Someone that steals people's blood and drinks it, that also worships Satan, that that also digs up graves, that also hides cameras in your room, that also hurts animals, that also makes voodoo dolls. Oh god, it's like, what is wrong? Basically, what I've learned is there's just a lot of weird people out there, guys. So, stay safe, yeah? Let me know in the comments which one you thought was the weirdest one. Also, let me know what you want to see me do next. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Oi! Subscribe!
Oh god, please subscribe! Subscribe!
Subscribe! Subscribe!